everybody, to another episode of Half a Clue Movie Review. On today's episode, we are going to discuss the amazing, that everybody loves, is super relevant with millennials and Gen Zs, the Oscar ceremonies. Everybody loves, loves the award ceremonies. Right?
Everybody loves the Oscars, right? There's never any issues with that. No, yes.
What's it called? What's it called?
Honestly, this is why we need a big band, because when we introduce the Oscars, we're talking about the Oscars, we need them to play.
Yeah, or, at one point, remember they had Jaws playing? Whenever the visual effects they're talking about, there's problems with the visual effects, something, and they took them out.
I don't know. We'll get the budget to have an entire orchestra here one day.
Miles, you know people, right?
Probably.
All right, so now
I can get some starving artists for us.
All right, so we're talking about our nomination predictions for the Oscars 22 ceremony, the 94th Academy Award, which is crazy. That's been out for that long.
Wow.
What's it called? So, we're going through all the different categories. We're going to go to technicals, but also our major categories that we're going to spend time focusing on is, best supporting actor, best supporting actress, best actor, best actress, best original screenplay, best adapted screenplay, best foreign film, and best picture. Today on our episode, we are joined by
Ron. Hi. Hello.
And then me, Miles, who's not going to be speaking very much because I don't really care about the Oscars.
Fair enough.
And Philip. And I love the Oscars. I used to track Oscars and also for internship and job before. So very near and dear to my heart. Yeah, it's called. I know people say they're not important. They are. They are, in the sense that it does affect either the legacy of the film or how a film is marketed or the money it makes and stuff like that.
Yeah, they are important whether you like them or agree with who wins or doesn't, but they are definitely at the very least relevant.
Though it doesn't necessarily dictate what film is good, but in terms of the impact it has on the industry, it's pretty big.
And I think exactly, because more people are likely to watch a film if it has or hasn't been nominated, and especially if it wins. That's I know tons of people who are like, I heard this movie got nominated for this, and that. Should I watch it? And it's yeah or no.
It's kind of like when people say the Super Bowl or the World Series is not important to football or baseball. It's in this case, it's pretty much like a competition amongst these films who win. I mean, this one is pure physical abilities, and this one is a mix of how the film plays and the voters. It's and the campaign. It's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's you could argue that Peyton Manning is a better quarterback than Tom Brady, but people always point to the fact that Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls and Manning only has 2.
And that's it. He actually officially retired.
Yeah, and that's it. Officially, he's done. Yay, until he decides to come back out of spite to win 6 more. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go into technical categories before we get into the main ones. The first category we're going to cover is best sound. And Miles is giving me this look because he knows, what's it called? He'll be delighted by this choice that the favorite person to win, and will for sure get nominated, is Dune.
For sure get nominated?
Yeah, it will for sure get nominated.
For sure? Okay.
Yeah, yes, that's Miles. It'll for sure get nominated, Dune. And the top, what's it called? The big contenders are Dune, West Side Story, Belfast, and Tick Tick Boom, and No Time to Die. If I were to guess if there's a film, because I know Power of the Dog, I think Power of the Dog, because of it is a favorite to win, it'll probably knock one of these films out. If I were to guess, probably Belfast, but that's my guess. What about you?
Yeah, no, I think Dune is pretty much a lock to win. The sound design in that film is so intricate and layered. It's fantastic.
Did you see that 30-minute documentary they had on sound? It's they went to the actual different deserts and put the mics
exactly inside. And then Denis had a very specific soundscape he wanted to create for this film, and I don't know, it's fantastic. But all the other ones, I think, I
mean, of course,
I don't want to sound too callous, but it's they're kind of okay. It's I don't think anything else really stacks up to the amount of sound.
What about
work
No Time to Die?
No Time to Die
in terms of the action sequences and
it's effective. And with West Side Story, it's a musical, so I feel it's different.
Cheating.
Yeah, it's a little bit cheating.
That and I actually, you know what? If I were to guess, either Belfast or Tick Tick Boom gets knocked out for Power of the Dog.
Yeah, if anything, it's funny enough, I would put Power of the Dog above Belfast or something, just because I feel again, it's
you remember the sounds when they're making the hide or something like that.
Yeah, when they're making the hide, when he's like running his thumb across the comb, its sound is very like important.
Yes.
And so I think it's one of those films, like it's a very quiet film, so like everything that you hear like really seems to matter, from the creaking of the floorboards to like, you know, the
banjo,
the
piano.
banjo, the tightening of the rope and stuff. Like it's
I think,
very important.
I think
so,
it's gonna get in there. I think either Belfast or Tick Tick Boom is probably gonna get out.
yeah, probably.
Because for Tick Tick Boom, other than the music, I don't think sound is as important. Like, you know, the regular, you know, diegetic sounds.
But personally, those would be my top two: Dune, and then, you know, Power of the Dog.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to best visual effects. The big contenders, based on research and Gold Derby, and also just the awards and stuff like that, it will be Dune, Godzilla vs. Kong, Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Rings, 10 Rings, The Matrix Resurrections, and then a couple of the dark horses. These 3 dark horses: No Time to Die, Eternals, or Free Guy. My personal pick is Dune, but it's also the favorite to win. It's gonna win.
Yeah, Dune, again, with the visual effects, incredible. They do the miniatures. The knee loves to do those miniatures, and I mean, they're, you know, the bigature miniatures, you know, straight from like, you know, classic cinema. It's fucking gorgeous film, and they work their ass off on the visual effects to get exactly what they wanted, and I think it's seamless and just gorgeous. And then Godzilla vs. Kong is like a strong number 2 as well, because
the creature work they did on that film is insane.
Yeah, and the fact that they do it, like there's 3 separate fight scenes between Godzilla and Kong. One that's on the boat, or like on the aircraft carrier. The second one that's in Hong Kong during the night, and then during the day. And it's like all 3 of those have very different like visual looks and flares to them. And then the fact that there's 2 of those take place during the day is what I applaud so much, and why I have the issue with Spider-Man No Way Home, because the final sequence, I mean, they're great. Like I think the sequence with the mirror dimension is enough to like really kind of get it in there. But the final sequence being at night, everything's darker. It's a little hard to see, and I know that's like kind of a little shortcut, so you can cut back on those visual effects. And I think that's where it kind of weighs it down a bit for me. Where I'm just
I agree.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, like when it's an emotional sequence where less visual effects coming, the sun rises.
Oh, it's like, hey, look, it's sun time again. It's like, okay, well,
that's annoying. But I think Spider-Man's gonna get there for sure, just because of the popularity of the film. Yeah, it's just like it's gonna get something. If the biggest is usually the highest grossing film, like at least gets 1 nomination somewhere. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, and also the fact that, like, you know, Marvel has been snubbed a lot for visual effects, and I think in the past there have been ones that are way bigger contenders, like primarily like the Guardians or like.
They usually always get nominated.
Yeah, but they never win.
They never win.
They've never won. Freaking Suicide Squad won, but we'll get into that category later.
Wait, Suicide Squad never won visual effects.
No, they won for makeup.
Makeup, yes,
which was
that's true.
A horrible thing. That should have gone to Star Trek Beyond, but we're not talking about that.
Yes. What's it called? And then, you know, Shang-Chi and the Legend of 10 Rings. I think main reason why, from what I've heard from other VFX artists and stuff like that, is the creature work. The creature work in the film, mainly with the dragon, and is Talo?
Yeah, I think so. And like the texture of his scales and everything.
That
was like the best part, the visual effects with me, and also with the rings themselves looked really
and also
well
the,
done.
The villain, the wyvern, the villain.
Yeah, that weird. See, I didn't really like his look, honestly.
But I mean, like, regardless, but like the actual visual effects and stuff like that. Yeah, and the water simulation.
Okay, in my opinion, they did like the smokiness effect, which is another shortcut that sometimes they do. But
that was in daytime.
Me.
Yeah.
And
I give props.
I give them credit for like the vast majority of the film is during the day, and the only times that they're at night, the action sequences aren't that effects heavy. So, good job.
Yeah,
but it was hit or miss. Some shots where I was looking at it, I was like, that looks fake.
But with the Matrix Resurrections, though, it's on there for legacy reasons, because the Matrix was on. Like the first Matrix film won best visual effects, but I'm not so sure about Matrix Resurrections anymore. I might take it off for No Time to Die, because, like I said, the the Oscars, the Academy, they love more grounded visual effects. Like, you know, First Man won best visual effects, Ex Machina won best visual effects.
Dude.
Oh,
I mean, sorry, the
yet.
fact that it's not yet. Not yet. But yeah.
So, and No Time to Die has some incredible effects on a practical side too.
Yeah,
it's not just best CGI, but best visual effects. But
yeah, really solid. looking film. And
Yeah, I would take Matrix Resurrections. I would put No Time to Die as my number 5.
Yeah, I would put No Time to Die again because it's like the end of this like this series of like, James Bond films, the Daniel Craig era. This feels like one where they would definitely at the very least give it a nomination. Or in my dark horse candidate is Eternals, because I think that's actually the best looking in terms of visual effects and just like cinematography, more than Spider-Man and more than Shang-Chi. Regardless of how you felt about the film overall, like as a visual, like as like storytelling, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think visually, it's
I agree,
one of
it's
the
more
best looking
consistent.
Marvels.
Yeah.
Films.
What's it?
The only problem is the villain who looks wonky. I'll say that.
Oh, Free Guy 2 also has like a lot of love for it too. Actually, Miles, have you seen Free Guy?
No, I still have not seen Free Guy. It's
me
been on my
neither.
list forever.
Oh, it's coming to HBO Max soon. You and I we should watch it soon.
Okay.
All right. Our next category is best production design. The big contenders, and I think really these are the only ones. Like I don't see this changing. Is Dune, Nightmare Alley. Those two are the favorites. It's really a 2-horse race between Dune and Nightmare Alley. West Side Story, The French Dispatch. I really hope it gets nominated. That's one of Miles and I's one of our favorite films.
If it doesn't get nominated for something, I'm going to be really sad. And I'm going to hate the Oscars even more than I do now.
It made its money. It made its money than a lot of these other films. So
Good job,
Wes Anderson's laughing his way to the bank.
He's our top 2 best directors named Wes.
oh, I see. Because they're Craven.
Yeah.
What's it called? The Tragedy of Macbeth, which is Oh my god, I would be very sad if Tragedy of Macbeth didn't get nominated.
Oh yeah, like God, dude, it's like for me, my top again. I agree with all this, and I agree with the order that it's in, for the most part. But I would have Dune at number 1 because again, everything I said about the visual effects really carries over to the production design. But then I would put Tragedy of Macbeth as number 2, and then probably French Dispatch, and then Nightmare Alley, and then West Side Story.
Oh, Nightmare Alley you put down.
Yeah. I think everything at the carnival looks fantastic, and even like the city scenes, like where they go into the what's called the psychiatrist's office and everything. It's so well thought out. It's classic, Guillermo del Toro. He knows his production design is always on point. So I think it's fantastic. But in terms of how well it lends itself to the story and just overall like how bold and great it is, I think Tragedy of Macbeth just definitely overcomes it. It's my
personal number 2.
Gorgeous film. Yeah.
But in terms of like how likely win,
it's probably not the most likely, but I would put it up there.
Yeah.
It's like my number 2.
All right, our next category, best makeup and hairstyling. This is also just like a 2-horse race between The Eyes of Tammy Faye and Dune. Dune, obviously, with the Harkonnens, and what's it called? Those being the obvious case. I think, but I give it to edge to Eyes of Tammy Faye because that was like it just has more of makeup and hairstyling.
Yeah,
throughout.
Anytime you do a period film, it's always one of those that just like kind of jumps to the top because it takes a lot to really put you in that space, and especially like in the early 80s, late 70s, like in the early 90s, there's a lot of fun to do with like the 80s makeup and hair and design. So yeah, I definitely put that one up there. And honestly, I think Cruella could be higher too, just because it's a fashion kind of
Cruella is my number 3, and 4 is House of Gucci because it'll get in somehow, and West Side Story, what's it called, mainly for the hairstyles for the Jets and Black, the Jets and Sharks, and also the female characters in the film. And Suicide Squad apparently might actually get there because it won previously, know.
Yeah.
And I personally think the makeup and hairstyling is on par from the original film. So
I think it's better.
Yeah.
Personally, I did not like how pretty much anything looked visually in the first Suicide Squad, and this one does a complete 180 where I'm just like, oh, it's great.
I can see why they gave it to the original Suicide Squad because like of the makeup work on Killer Croc.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the film, but in terms of just
I understand, but like again, Star Trek Beyond did so much better makeup work, but whatever.
Okay, our next category we're gonna be talking about best costume design. This is easy. It's Cruella.
Cruella's gonna get it. Although personally, I'd give it to Dune.
Dune.
Well,
actually, wait, what's it called? What's it called? I don't know. I mean, like, I love Dune and I love the costumes. But Cruella is so focused on costumes and designs. It does have some intricate one, regardless of my feelings on the film.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I don't know. I feel like Dune on
it's more subtle.
Practical. Yeah, it's subtle. There's so much going on in the nuance. It goes hand in hand with the production design as well. Like how well it lends itself to the world and how much it just builds this like realistic like visual I can't speak right now, but you know, like this whole area, like I don't know, just it feels so real and grounded, and it's like how these people survive in the desert and everything. I don't know. I'd give to Dune. House of Gucci. I remember I said this on a review for House of Gucci.
It's cheating, but
It's
gonna get
cheating
it.
because it's Gucci.
But it's gonna get it though.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then I know Spencer on Gold Derby they have a number 6, but I think it'll get there because I really have a hard time because royal films usually do well, and it does have amazing costume work on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
great. Again, in the same vein as House of Gucci, in my opinion, where it's
Yeah.
like it's cheating a little bit because, of course, the costumes look great because they're based off of the royalty, and it's good though, but it pulls it off very well. I think they do a lot.
And you know, there's Nightmare Alley. I know West Side Story is tracking high, but I really, even though I think West Side Story, especially during the ballroom dance, or not the ballroom dance, the dance sequence, it was really effective.
Yeah.
I could see that being a dark horse, but I have it edged out for Spencer and Nightmare Alley and stuff. Yeah.
I would switch around Nightmare Alley and West Side Story personally.
Okay, the reason why I would put Nightmare Alley in there because it has more nominations. But then again, you know, so does West Side Story. So it's weird. Those 5 or 6, I might be convinced later on. Okay, best original score. This one, it's also a 2-dog race. It's between Dune by Hans Zimmer or Power of the Dog by Johnny Greenwood. I think both are excellent scores on different on 2 different spectrums.
Completely different. Yeah.
Johnny Green like Power of the Dog is a lot more like, you know, string and piano and like, you know, those type of instruments, and it's a more of a psychological art house like type of like a score that would fit that type of film.
Yeah.
But Dune is like, you know, it's Dune. It's Hans Zimmer.
I would say it's Hans Zimmer's best work, and my only criticism, it's one of his best. But the only thing I would say, like, criticism is I think he overdoes it sometimes, where it's basically a little too much, and if anything, he could have pulled back.
Whoa,
exactly.
We're talking about his score, but not like how it's used in the film.
That's fair. That's
his
fair.
actual score, I think it's fantastic.
It's like, incredible. Yeah, and it has a wider range of like here's the Atreides music, here's the Harkonnens music, here's the Fremen's music.
Yes, and here's the Bene Gesserits.
Yeah, the Bene Gesserits music. It's so good. Yeah.
And then like mixing the Bene Gesserits with the Harkonnens, the starter car, and like when they remember when the Atreides, their warriors were like in 2 different rows and trying to kill the Harkonnens, and they were killed by, and then you had the Bene Gesserit thing playing. It's excellent.
It's exactly. It's very layered. It's like it informs what's going on screen.
So regarding the original score, and like regardless of how like it is used in the film, because I mean that is important too, but I think that's more on Denis' choice of like using that score more often than maybe he should.
Yeah,
or too loudly.
What's it called? What's it called? But that's sound mixing and editing. We're just talking about like the actual music composed, right? Well, okay. At least I'll ask you this on Miles. Miles, you at least feel like the score by itself is fantastic.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he's an amazing composer. I have not seen a movie where he didn't do a fantastic score.
But do you believe it's one of his best? I do think so.
I think that it's very strong. You know, I'm not a music expert. I know that there's a lot of stuff that goes into making a score and mixing different themes together for different scenes and you know, showing conflict and things like that. I think that he did a good job. It's hard to say if it's one of his best. That's really something that only time will tell, I think.
That's fair.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
And the other ones on the original score, the big contenders, even though I'll be honest, this is kind of like a weak year, but
sorry, I'm just looking at number 4 and it's
it's The French Dispatch, Don't Look Up, and Encanto. But there is a chance, I think, either like Don't Look Up and Encanto get knocked out for Parallel Mothers and No Time to Die, or even Spencer.
I would be surprised if Encanto doesn't get nominated. I think if any of them were to get knocked out, I would say probably Don't Look Up.
I'm surprised, but people for some reason really like love. I mean, and I love Nicholas Britell because he did fantastic for Succession, which is Ron's favorite theme song of all time. Yeah, I know he also did the music for. I think he's an Academy Award favorite because he did the music for If Beale Street Could Talk and Moonlight. He's a fantastic composer, but just wasn't utilized well in that film.
Yeah, like a lot of stuff. In that film.
But
not a fan if you haven't picked up yet.
If I were to guess, I might take out. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Don't Look Up and Encanto get knocked out, and Parallel Mothers and No Time to Die get in, because Parallel Mothers is having a really good late push from what's it called, from their studio, their distributor. And No Time to Die, it's like I said, the last Bond film. Billie Eilish's song is really picking up a lot of steam. It's probably going to win Best Original Song.
Yeah, it's a great song. Yeah. I would be surprised if No Time to Die doesn't get in there, and I would be really shocked and disappointed if Don't Look Up does. If it does, oh God, why?
Like I said, it really depends. I mean, like it's picking up way too much heat for my opinion, but it's fine. It's whatever. I have to. That'd be sad.
Yeah.
All right, our next.
Wow, this is the first time I've seen Philip disagree with the mainstream opinion on things.
It's Don't Look Up because it sucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go
What's
to
it called?
best
The thing
editing.
is, it's not even like you know what? No, I'll save my rant for the best picture.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and we have a video on it too. Now best editing. The ACE Eddies came out, and that's a big indicator of what will get nominated or what gets. Because they're basically, the association, the American Cinema Editors Association, and a lot of those editors are also Oscar voters. And editing, the nominations are determined by the editors. So if it gets nominated for ACE, that is a big boost. But I think, let me go over what got nominated for ACE Eddies: Dune, Power of the Dog, King Richard, No Time to Die, and Belfast. I think of those 5, the guaranteed are Dune, Power of the Dog, and Belfast.
Yeah.
But I think King Richard and No Time to Die will get knocked out for 2 other Oscar favorites or more front runners, or actually competing for other awards, is West Side Story and Licorice Pizza. Even though, not gonna lie, I would put No Time to Die over Licorice Pizza for editing, even though I think Licorice Pizza had good editing in that film, because I think No Time to Die was just the intricacy of the action scenes, what's it called, or even like some of the landscape shots and mixing in between the different storylines. I think just like in terms of just pure brunt work, it's like the most impressive.
Yeah.
You know what? I might take out Licorice Pizza. My personal number 5 would be No Time to Die. But what about you?
Personally, I think Licorice Pizza.
You put that over No Time to Die.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of getting nominated.
Yeah, I think honestly, just in terms of, again, like the editing and everything, the way like it kind of helps carry a lot of the story and a lot of the sequences between like, cutting back and forth between the 2 main characters and everything. I don't know. I just feel like it works a lot better, and I think there's a lot more behind it, and I feel like that's very evident on screen. So I would be surprised if No Time to Die gets in there, because I know the editing during the action sequences is pretty great, but I don't know. I feel like Licorice Pizza just did a lot more,
and that's fair. That's fair. Well, wait. Well, what are your 5 to get nominated again? So mine is Dune, Power of the Dog, Belfast, West Side Story, and Licorice Pizza. I mean, No Time to Die. My number 5. But what about you?
I think pretty much just like it's how it's here. It's Dune, Power of the Dog, Belfast, West Side Story, Licorice Pizza.
And that's fair. I think it depends on Licorice. It might be the case is that the wave is strong for that one.
Yeah. Our
Our next category is Best Cinematography. And this one's just like, it's pretty easy. Though I think there was one big snub. The nominations for American ASC Awards, the American Society of Cinematographers, big indicator of what will get nominated for Best Cinematography, are Dune, Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, Belfast, and surprisingly not Janusz Kaminski for West Side Story, but instead Nightmare Alley.
Weird.
Which is, I mean, I get it's very pretty, the film and stuff like that.
It's one of the strongest aspects of that film.
But if I were to guess, I think I mean, it's hard because I really think the film was pretty, but I mean, it's insane. Like, just you have to have eyes. Just looking at West Side Story, the way it's framed, the way the camera moves, and the way it's just lit. That film, Janusz Kaminski like shot the shit out of that film.
Yeah, this one is one of the toughest categories for me, because
the Green Knight might even get in there.
Yeah, it's like really all of these, like, like you said, all the ones you listed, Power of the Dog and everything, but like Nightmare Alley, Spencer, and Green Knight, I think could easily be on the top 5 as well. Green Knight in particular, which is like one of my personal favorites, as we'll get to later, but I don't think it's going to get nominated. Just it feels like too big of a category on a film that not many people are really talking about.
I mean, look, Lighthouse got nominated. That was like an upset actually. Like, it took out a couple people's spots, but
interesting. But yeah, I think West Side Story will kick in there, because there's a lot that goes on, like with the how it looks, the way the camera moves. I think it's an improvement on the original. I mean, we've had obviously 50 years of advancement on on technical capabilities in filmmaking, and it shows. And I think they really used it to the best aspect as they could, like just from framing, like blocking the characters to the scene as the camera's moving through, with the choreography and stuff. It's fantastic. I think it definitely deserves to be the top 5 for sure.
I think the snub for West Side Story does hurt it a bit because I used to have it as number 3 above Tragedy Macbeth, but the snub probably knocked down to number 5. I'll still keep it in there, my top 5. I personally would take out Belfast and put Nightmare Alley or Green Knight instead.
Yeah,
but
it's and I liked Belfast too, and I think
it looks pretty.
Yeah, it's again, that's probably one of the strongest aspect of that film is just visually how well it's it's framed and blocked between all the characters, and the way it looks, it's great. It's fantastic. I think honestly, if Nightmare Alley had originally come out in black and white, and I know Del Toro is he's doing a lot of rounds. He's pushing around the black and white
version.
Out
recently,
yeah, and I think I haven't seen it yet, but you can just tell that's really what
it should have been.
It should have been in black and white, and it's if it had originally come out that way, I would have say it could have gotten even higher, maybe even 3 or 4, but I wouldn't be surprised if it gets bumped off or if it's here. Really, it's it's a soft 5 or 6.
And ASC doesn't usually go 5 for 5, whatever their nominees. Usually 4 or 3 for 5. But I think Doom, Power of the Dog, Tragedy Macbeth, Belfast, and West Side Story. Those are our 5, I guess.
Yeah.
For in terms of nominations, it's not our personal picks, but
yeah.
All right. So now we will go over the best, and now we're starting to get into more of the bigger categories, but best international film. For me, I think this one it's a little tricky. For most part, I think it's the 5 are Drive My Car being the front runner, A Hero, The Worst Person in the World, Flee, and The Hand of God. Drive My Car because there's a lot of love and respect for that film. It might be the only film that gets nominations in other categories like Best Original Screenplay, Best Director, and maybe even Best Picture. A Hero, Ashghar Farhadi, most of his films got nominated for Best Foreign Film, like A Separation and A Salesman, stuff like that. He did, and he's really wide respect, and he has actually won in the past too. So, and the and the other one, The Worst Person in the World is
Worst.
Oh, my bad. The Worst Person, my bad. The Worst Person in the World is very beloved amongst the Academy. Is very well liked, and if you see the film, you can see why I honestly think it's more crowd pleasing or equally crowd pleasing as Coda, but just it's about a different topic, a little bit more adult.
Interesting.
Flee because it might get the best documentary, best animated film, and best. By the way, and the reason why we're not talking about animated films, we had a whole episode on that, so you guys can go listen to it.
It's great. Go check it out.
What's it called? And Flee, best nominated, best foreign film, best documentary, and best animated film. I think it's gonna make a play for all 3. And The Hand of God, that's safe because Paolo Sorrentino, who's an Italian director, has won in the past for The Great Beauty, and he's an Oscar favorite. The film has been playing really well. It's on Netflix, so it's very visible for any voters to see. So, and it's beautiful. It's well deserving. It is a fantastic film. But I think if I were to take out one of those films, and I think a dark horse would be The Compartment Number 6, which is a love story on a train. And I think that film might knock out Flee, because if people think Flee is just overrepresented or something like that, I can see that pushback going in, the different categories splitting up the votes. But my 5 would be Drive My Car, A Hero, The Worst Person in the World, Flee, and Hand of God. And those are my personal 5s too.
For me, I've only seen 4 of the international films, but personally, I would have Drive My Car, Titan.
What's it called? Oh, just for a note for our viewers, the reason why I didn't include Titan in the nominations because it didn't make the Oscar shortlist.
Oh, yeah, I see. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and Parallel Mothers was, for some reason, this was the baffling thing because it might have even been a serious competition for Drive My Car, but it wasn't chosen by Spain as a representative for Best Foreign Film.
Lame.
Yeah, and they did The Good Boss, which is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, so I would put Drive My Car, Titan, Parallel Mothers, even though I know it's not technically.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's not
eligible.
Eligible. Right?
Yeah, but I would put it there if I could, and then probably Flee. Well, I mean, yeah, Fleet, because I haven't seen the other one. So
I do recommend. I think you out of the ones, I think you'll like The Worst Person in the World. You might even like that more than Drive My Car.
really,
Yeah, that film is like it has such a charm and wit to it that's like none of the other ones. And it's also like the most lighthearted.
interesting.
Okay, so let's go to best adapted screenplay. Some of the big boys. All right, the main contenders. Let's go this and just go one by one. My number one for best adapted screenplay is Power of the Dog because it got nominated for the Critics' Choice and BAFTAs. It didn't get nominated for WGAs because it's ineligible. So that's another thing. WGAs, very important, but the problem is there's a lot of their submission rules and the eligibility rules is really tricky. So a lot of and also you have to be a member. So a lot of screenplays that would make it in the Oscars would not make it in WGAs. But getting a WGA nomination does give you a big boost in terms of chances of you getting nominated. The WGA nominees are Coda, for best adapted screenplay, Coda, West Side Story, Dune, Nightmare Alley, and Tick Tick Boom. But amongst those five, Nightmare Alley and Tick Tick Boom, I don't think like have a real chance of getting, or no chance of winning, and I think almost very little chance of getting nominated. But all right, my number one is Power of the Dog. What about you?
Yeah, I'd probably say Power of the Dog or Coda. Honestly,
Let's go. You gotta choose. What's your number one?
I will say Power of the Dog. Yeah,
Alright.
I think again because it's such a hot top runner. Everyone thinks it's gonna like sweep in a lot of different ways, and this feels like one of them that it could easily take.
And
yeah,
I read the screenplay recently, and it is excellent. It is very well written and stuff like that. You know, the changes, and it's very detail oriented, just like the film.
yeah.
My number two is I was debating between Coda and The Lost Daughter, but I edged it to The Lost Daughter mainly because I think writers tend to really love the different timeline jumps, and you know they consider that as more impressive or so.
Yeah, it goes back and forth and everything. Yeah,
And it does handle a little bit more adult topics, and it's a little bit more unconventional than like something like Coda.
yeah.
But that's my number two. You?
No, I would put Coda as number 2, and then Lost Daughter as number 3.
That's yeah. That makes sense. Coda is my number three. I think Coda. It's so well beloved. Yeah, it's watched by a lot of the voters.
Yeah,
It's very people pleasing, and I think the biggest strength is the characters and the dialogues. The Ash plot events, it's basic as fuck, but the plot of the characters and the characters written,
they're so well written.
yeah, and the dialogue, it's everybody has their own intricacies, their own motivations, and the dialogue, and people love it. So I think it's a solid number 3.
Yeah,
It's a lock to not get nominated for sure.
and for 4, I'd put Dune, and then 5 is probably West Side Story, or personally, I'd put Drive My Car, but West Side Story.
Oh, okay. Wait, so your number 4, what's your number 4 again? Your number 4 is Dune. For in terms of nominated.
Yeah, nominated.
All
Yeah.
right, and number 5 is
West Side Story.
okay. I think West Side Story, even though I think West Side Story got snubbed at the BAFTAs, which did hurt. I think they hurt the film quite a bit. And Dune, even though it got WGA's Critics' Choice and BAFTAs, which would indicate that I'll probably get in, but I think the big thing hurting Dune is that it's half a film.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's again, it's not the entire story, and I think it's not going to win. I think it's pretty sure that it's not going to win this time at all. But
I think it's 0% chance.
I think but part 2, I think will definitely win. It'll get the Return of the King treatment, and it's probably going to get a lot more wins.
Yeah.
With the follow up when it's actually like a complete story, and you can kind of piece them together. Is it cheating a tiny bit? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is cheating. I think so my 4 and 5. My 4 is West Side Story because, like I said, a lot of love for West Side Story and the Oscar voting. Even they fucked up the campaign and gave the screeners out really, really late.
Nah.
They're one of the last people to give out screeners for the voters, which will hurt the film quite a bit.
Weird.
And it flopped at the box office, so that doesn't help it at all in terms of like impact on and also visibility. But I think mainly because Troy, I think, or Tony Kushner is very well beloved, and he and he was previously recognized for Lincoln. That was one of his more acclaimed screenplays. And West Side Story does a lot to update the original film, and also even
There's a lot of adapting going on.
Yes, that one for sure. So I think it'll get in there, especially since it got the WGA nomination. But Dune, even though it got the WGA, CC, and BAFTA, I think the love for Drive My Car is so high. And also, I personally and it won the Cannes Film Festival for best screenplay, and that does help boost it a bit. I think it'll be the surprise number 5 and knock Dune out. Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah.
what's it called? Do you agree with that or no? It's either that or the dark horse, but yeah.
Yeah, I think Drive My Car has a real shot to slip in there.
Would you be sad if Dune didn't get nominated?
Yeah, I would, because I was gonna say, like, for my personal picks, I would probably put Power of the Dog, Dune, then Coda, Lost Daughter, and then Drive My Car. Yeah.
Oh, for your personal picks?
My personal picks, yes. Those are
okay.
Yeah.
My personal picks, and these are not for nominations at all. Like in terms of what screenplays I enjoyed the most, are Drive My Car. And by the way, Drive My Car is ineligible for WGA because Ryusuke Hamaguchi is not a WGA member.
Oh my gosh.
I know. What's it called? And also Power of the Dog is also ineligible. The Lost Daughter is ineligible, so the paying contenders are ineligible for WGAs. That's why it's such a weird category. Even Passing too. Passing has a decent shot of getting in there, but because Rebecca Hall and stuff like that. But I think the film hasn't been getting enough traction, so I doubt it. My personal top screenplays will be Drive My Car is my number 1. I absolutely love that film, and I think it does rely on the text the most out of all these other films.
Yeah.
Then Power of the Dog, The Lost Daughter. Not The Last Daughter. Can you imagine? The sequel? It's like The Last Daughter. Olivia Colman kills all daughters except her own.
You know what? Honestly, I think I'd put Drive My Car as like my number 1 or number 2 on personal picks, because the screenplay is so freaking integral to the film, and there's so much subtext and going on. It's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah.
And my number 4 is Passing and West Side Story for personal picks. Yeah. Okay. Our next category is Best Original Screenplay. Before I put in the WGA nominations, let me include the ones that are ineligible. A Hero, Annette, Belfast, Mass, Parallel Mothers, Pig, The Worst Person in the World, and Titan are all ineligible for Best Original Screenplay.
Terrible.
Which is annoying because a lot of them are not members of the WGA, or the submission period was off. So because of that, it's really weird. But the nominees for Best Original Screenplay for WGA is Licorice Pizza, Don't Look Up, oh so sad, King Richard, Being the Ricardos, and there's another one, doesn't matter, but it's yeah, and Belfast got snubbed. Oh no, Belfast is ineligible. I don't know. I think this is a tricky category. I think Licorice Pizza is the favorite to get nominated and win. That's my number 1. What about you?
I think
in terms of just nominations,
honestly, I think Licorice Pizza seems like it's probably the most likely to win that. But for like a close second, or closer than maybe it should be, would be Being the Ricardos.
Honestly, yeah, because it got WGA, CC, and the BAFTAs.
Yeah,
so all the 3 major precursors.
Yeah, I don't think it should be the second one, or it should win, but I think it should. It's definitely going to get up there. It's got Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin is a legend when it comes to screenwriting, for good reason.
And he's a previous winner for Social Network.
Yeah, and the screenplay is one of the stronger aspects of this film in particular. It does have its issues, but it's definitely what kind of really ropes you in. It's got that classic Sorkin style of dialogue that is pretty captivating, and it helps propel everything that's going forward. But there's a little too much going on, whatever. In the ending, there's issues, but yeah. And I think, I don't know, if anything that could slip in there, I think for my dark horse category, God damn it, I just keep looking at Don't Look Up is up there. And
let's go through our list first before we say. Okay, my number 1 is Licorice Pizza. Yours is also Licorice Pizza.
Yeah, I'd say Licorice Pizza.
My number 2 is honestly, I agree with you. It'll be Being the Ricardos as my number 2.
Yeah.
And number 3, sadly, I hate it, but it got all the precursors, WGA, the Critics' Choice, and the BAFTA. Is Don't Look Up. Is that your number 3 also?
Hell no.
Not your personal.
I know, not my personal.
For nominations.
For nominations, I don't think it's gonna end up tracking that high by the time we get to.
Is that your own personal feeling?
No, I'm
based
serious.
on all the precursors.
I feel like it's gotten enough critical backlash for it, and it's got such mixed reviews, and especially just the screenplay is what's one of the most frustrating aspects of that film. I fucking hate it. So I'm trying to keep my personal opinions out of it. Just personally, I think there's been a lot of pushback on it. It seems like it's been falling off a bit, which thank God.
It's been like it's just like killing it with nominations.
Yeah, but it hasn't really won anything, at least in terms of just its writing.
Well, I mean, nobody has won anything yet.
Yeah, well,
because the awards haven't been announced.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, but sorry, I just think that it's been slipping. If anything, it's going to slip in there. I think it probably will still end up getting nominated, but I would not put it at 3. I'd put it like at 5. And if anything, I would maybe knock off King Richard and put in Mass instead.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mass would be the one that slips in.
All right, let's go through what's your 5?
Licorice Pizza, Being the Ricardos, Belfast, Mass, then probably Don't Look Up.
All right, honestly, my number 5 is okay. So my 5 are Licorice Pizza for my number 1, Being the Ricardos for number 2 because got WGA, CC, and BAFTAs both for Licorice Pizza. My number 3.
What?
I have to put. I hate the screenplay, but it's just like it got all the precursors and stuff like that. I think it's a lock to get nominated. Sadly,
Ooh.
My number 4. It's because this one I feel like out of the 2 that might get knocked off, it's Belfast and King Richard. I think Belfast is safer because it's a Best Picture contender.
Yeah.
I mean, they both are, but it's tracking much higher. Belfast is number 4, but King Richard, I should take that out, even though it got nominated for WGAs and BAFTAs.
Yeah.
And I think there will be a surprise pick. Like it's going to either be Mass or Parallel Mothers.
Yeah. Both of those I think are heavy contenders. Again, Mass because it's a solo screenwriter, and that's like a big deal.
Yeah,
when it comes to the awards.
There has never been, for 20 years.
There's always not been.
There's never not been. There's always at least been one nomination for a solo screenwriter.
Yeah, yeah, and I think Parallel Mothers. It's a foreign film. It's very well written, and
Pedro Moldovar is the Oscars love him.
Yeah,
yeah.
So I think that's more than reason enough for him to get in there. Like again, for personal picks. Can we go personal picks now?
Oh, wait, I haven't said my number 5 yet.
Oh yeah, sorry. What's your 5?
My number 5. Okay, so my 1 is Licorice Pizza. Number 2 is Being the Ricardos. Number 3 is Don't Look Up. Sadly, number 4 is Belfast. What's it called? But my number 5, I would lean it towards Parallel Mothers because that Mass is basically virtually unseen.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I would personally put Mass, but yeah. But let's go to original. What's your thing?
For like personal, I would probably put. Sorry, I know I was like coming in hot.
I would put let's get to personal.
Yeah, let's get personal. No, I would put Mass, and then I would probably put Licorice Pizza, Parallel Mothers, Pig, and Titan.
Pig is really good. Honestly, Pig is good.
It's so underrated, man. It deserves so much more praise than it's getting.
When we get to actors,
watch Pig.
We will talk about it. Oh, by the way, congratulations to the director of Pig. I think it's Michael Soronsky. He got his first big studio gig. He's gonna direct a Quiet Place spinoff.
Nice, but it's so beautifully written. It's so there's
Miles looks sad.
there's so much nuance and subtext, and it's like it's a film about a guy looking for his pig. And he's like a head chef, or he's a former head chef, and they're mostly talking about food and his pig, but everything that he's really saying under the surface is just it's beautiful.
About his grief.
It's about his grief. It's about like forgiveness and love, and there's so much going on with it. It's like
it's really good. I'm not gonna lie, it has an offshoot chance, very small, very slim, but we'll see.
I would be really surprised if it got nominated. And I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
That would make me very happy.
Who would you bump out? Would you bump out Belfast or King Richard for number 5?
Like if I could just bump one out.
Yeah.
Don't look up. That's like not even a question. Get out of there. You suck.
Right.
Or honestly, or even Being the Ricardos. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Or King Richard.
My personal.
I'm not happy with this category.
My personal picks for best original screenplay is number 1 is A Hero. I mentioned that earlier. And best foreign film. And I also talked to Ron about this film not too long ago. It is very fascinating. It's Asghar Farhadi does the thing where all his characters are very flawed but also very relatable, and all these things are some things that I could see other people just tragically getting into by just simple happen chance or their peer pressure, stuff like that. And those are the weighty themes of what's lies, truth, perception, and especially perception between between family members or between different communities. It's really good. It's my favorite one. Number 2 is Mass. We have a whole video on it. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Licorice Pizza because it's fucking funny.
It's very funny.
And also it has a lot of weighty themes within it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with it. And again, there's just it's the dialogue is probably my favorite parts of the whole movie.
Yeah. Dry sand. Number 4 is Come On, Come On. I know, Miles, you really like that film, right? Sadly, we hadn't had time to talk about it. One day, maybe. Number 5, Teton. I would put Teton just because it's just wild as fuck. And it's super original, like original screenplay.
Yeah, very original.
And number 6 and 7, Parallel Mothers and Pig. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Our next category, the supporting actors, best supporting actors for this year's Oscars. The big contender will be my number 1 is Cody Smith McPhee. I think he's the favorite to win. And there's only 2 locks. This is the weirdest category too. I'll just say this up front. I've never seen the supporting actors be this wild and unpredictable. Like when we started this race, the 5 were like, people say the 5 were Cody, Troy, Kieran, Jared, and Jamie Dornan. But now it's just like after the SAG snubs and after BAFTAs and stuff, it's all over the place. Like it's unpredictable. There's only 2 locks. And my number 1 and 2, and those are my number 1 and 2. Cody Smith McPhee and Troy Koster, who got all the 4 precursors for SAG, the Screen Actor Guilds, Critics' Choice, BAFTAs, and the Golden Globe.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna put Troy Koster as number 1.
Let's go. You think he'll actually end up winning?
I think he could. I think he's got a decent.
I think he has a really good shot.
Yeah, I think obviously it's a very close race because Cody Smith McPhee does a fantastic job in that movie. Again, it's completely different roles and like performances. Troy Koster is like much more expressive. Of course, he's deaf. He's playing a deaf actor. He has to be more expressive. And Cody is like has that just very subdued, quiet performance. So I don't know, but I think Troy could slip in there. I really hope he does because
Cody, like a personal level, like I think they're both equal in different ways. But I think Cody Smith McPhee, he's young. He's gonna get more nominations.
Yeah, this guy's got such a long future ahead of him. He was Nightcrawler.
Oh, come on, don't, no.
No, that wasn't his fault.
Yeah,
but
let me in.
He's got a long history ahead of him. I feel like the Academy likes to reward actors who have been like in the game for a long time and like really kind of like put in the time and everything.
They paid their dues.
Yeah, and paid their dues. So
Troy Koster fits that. And let's be honest, as fucked up as it is, and Hollywood does not give many opportunities to deaf actors.
Yeah,
when's the next time he's gonna get this nomination or this level of push?
Yeah, honestly, it's exactly. This is probably gonna be one of. Hopefully, it's only one of the largest roles he ever gets, but we just don't know. I think Cody's got a long future ahead of him. He's gonna do great. He's gonna get several more nominations in his future. Honestly, he reminds me of like a young Paul Dano. Like,
oh yeah, I can see that. Weirder looking, but yeah.
Paul Dano's kind of weird looking.
But this guy's like, he's I was like, Paul Dano, you think you look weird? I'm really weird, which is cool. I mean, like, it works for the role. Cody. Yeah, it works for your roles. It works for your
absolutely.
Roles.
Yeah,
you have a very unique look.
But yeah, I don't know why he reminds me of Paul Dano in a way. But it's he's got a long future here. He's got chances to come back at this. I think Troy, this is like his best shot definitely the best shot he's had so far. So I really hope that he wins it. I think he's got a shot because I think again Coda is like a real big favorite. I'm not sure how well it will do with the rest of the awards, and I think that's really going to depend because I think sometimes people want to give like that one win to like a particular film that they really liked. And I feel like he is definitely the guy who could sneak in there and snag it. Yeah.
All right, let's get into our 3 to 5 because I think this is just really weird.
It's so strange. It could shift around all over the place.
All right, so SAG has really upended the race. SAG has nominated Cody Smith McPhee, Troy Koster, and no Belfast. But they nominated Jared Leto, and the other 2 surprise nominations are Bradley Cooper for Licorice Pizza and Ben Affleck for The Tender Bar.
Weird.
Does Ben Affleck have a chance? I don't know. He actually might, but I
don't think so.
He might, honestly.
I don't know. I don't think so.
'Cause you don't think like that's what, like, you don't think they'll do that whole thing of like, you never been nominated for, you paid your dues and let's get in.
It's different. I feel like I haven't heard that much steam behind this film. To be fair, I have not seen it, so I can't speak too much
He is
on it.
good in it. I don't think best like Oscar worthy by any definitions because he's playing himself.
Yeah, and I think it's the same thing with Bradley Cooper for Licorice Pizza. He was one of my favorite parts of the movie. I think he was great, and he kind of steals the show a little bit, but he has so little to do. He has like 2 scenes really.
Yeah.
And he does a great job in those scenes, and I loved his performance, but it's like by no means does he deserve a nomination over Jamie Dornan or Ciarán Hinds for Belfast. I think both of them were fantastic. I think, yeah, like I don't know. I would give it to Mike Feist. I think Mike Feist might actually slip in there.
He is, because he got the BAFTA nomination, and now more and more screeners. I mean, even though it was really late, they're doing it. Hopefully, I think it's picking up steam. West Side Story.
Yeah, and there's also Jesse Plemons for Power of the Dog. He also got a BAFTA nomination as well, and I love Jesse Plemons like in everything. But
he might get in. Like he might, like regardless of my feelings on his performance, he doesn't have much to do.
Yeah,
but the love for Power of the Dog is so overwhelming that sometimes it bleeds into other categories.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get nominated. Okay, so like if I were to pick my 5, it's Cody, Troy, and my number 3, I would put Ciarán Hinds. Because even though I really like Jamie Dornan, I think he did a better job. He had more to do. But Ciarán Hinds is like the more respected actor in terms of, and also he has paid his dues longer, stuff like that. So I think they usually tend to go for that.
Yeah.
So I think Ciarán Hinds. Number 4. You know what? I don't want to.
No,
I really don't want to.
No,
but he got nominated for SAG and Critics' Choice.
No,
you it's just like,
don't say it.
I think you might have to say it too.
I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, you're gonna be so stubborn. You're like, it's not gonna get in there. I'll say this: it's hard.
We're talking about Jared Leto and House of Gucci.
Yeah, I think he's my number 4. I think he might get in. Even it's me, Paolo Gucci.
Honestly, one of the worst performances I've seen.
People have
in
he has such
years.
a rabid fan base.
Yeah, people fucking love him, dude.
Yeah,
people are like obsessed with Jared Leto, and they think that like, oh my god, he lost himself in House of Gucci, and it's like, hey, he lost himself in a terrible character, and a terrible caricature of a man.
No one loves him, no one respects.
Don't mix the chocolate with the dookie. Oh god, it's so bad. I think personally, for that reason, because I think he also has been getting a lot of backlash. I know he got nominated for SAG.
That's big.
That is
big.
I know it's very significant, but I feel like Mike Feist for West Side Story.
He's my number 5. He's my number 5, Mike Feist.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. You want to finish your list?
Yeah, he's my 5, Mike Feist. So because of BAFTA and that Leif Bush, and I think the love for West Side Story, I think he'll be number 5.
Yeah.
But I don't want to keep Jared Leto in there. Personally, I would take out Jared Leto for either Jamie Dornan or stuff like that. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Jesse Plemons actually takes the number 4 spot in terms of like who actually gets nominated.
Who knows? Yeah.
But yeah,
for the people who I think will probably get nominated, I think again Cody Smith-McPhee, easy. Troy Koster, easy. Ciarán Hinds, I think for a lot of the same reasons you said. Then probably Mike Feist for West Side Story, because again he got the BAFTA. He's gotten a lot of love.
And number 5, say it.
I know. I don't think Jared Leto's
you really
get
don't think
nominated.
so?
No, I don't think so. I don't know, man. I just feel like again he's getting a lot of pushback. His performance is embarrassing, man. Like it's bad. It's
bad.
like, how can the Academy?
But Screen Actors, think about it. They
nominate
are fellow
that with
actors that nominated him, and they represent a big chunk. They're one of the biggest branches of the Oscars.
Yeah, I don't know. And then honestly, I just don't think he's gonna get in there. I don't know, man.
Who's your number 5?
I feel like there's enough pushback.
Is it Jamie Dornan?
For number 5, it's tough. I feel like Bradley Cooper could probably slip in.
That's honestly might have. What's it, Maz? You want to jump in?
Yeah, I agree. I think
you think he has one of the best performances.
Even though he had a limited role in Licorice Pizza, I think that he did just a freaking excellent job. He was able to pull attention while not overpowering the narrative that was going on. And he did exactly what a supporting actor is supposed to do, which was support. He made the film better.
That's fair. Yeah, I think he'll slip in there.
But the only thing
The Academy seems to really love Bradley.
you know what? I might change my mind. I might. But the only thing is, like, he only got nominated for SAG. That's the only
Yeah.
thing. But Licorice Pizza is really hot right now. And Bradley is, by the way, he's like a 3-time Academy Award nominee.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, Jared Leto's a previous Academy Award winner too, so that cancels it out.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's a soft 5 for me between Bradley Cooper and Jamie.
Is Jared Leto
Plemons.
your number
Jesse
6?
Plemons. Huh?
Is Jared Leto your number 6?
No.
No. I feel like you're letting your personal. You are. You gotta admit.
Fine. I'll put him as number 6. I don't want to, but like I think he'll. Unfortunately, he is that dark
horse.
Dark horse.
You know what? I think I changed my mind. I am gonna take out Jared Leto and put Bradley Cooper because I think not because and that's not even my personal feelings, but I do really think that because there's a lot of love for Bradley Cooper. He already has Nightmare Alley coming out, and he really responded to One of the Respective Stars Born.
Honestly, I think he should have gotten nominated for Nightmare Alley instead of Licorice Pizza.
Well, I mean, it's a better performance.
Yeah, that's
but in terms
mean.
of like, but amongst the categories.
Yeah, I know. Amongst the categories and what most likely is or is not going to get. But I think he should have. I think Nightmare Alley was by far a better performance. But again, that's like his movie, so it's a big difference. Obviously, that's it. That's a lead.
When we go
he's not supporting.
I think Bradley Cooper takes that Jared Leto spot. I'd still put Mike Weiss because I think he'll be like a surprise pick. Like I said, this is weird. We might all get this wrong, and the only 2 we get right is Cody and Troy. Dude, they might even nominate the actor who played Tatsuki or something in Drive My Car.
Yeah, that's I wanted to mention him, but again, that's for personal picks. But yeah,
it's like I don't know. It's what's it called. It's weird. I don't know. He might get in. He might win. But I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It's a weird category. That's my 5. Cody, Troy, Kieran, Mike Feist, and Bradley Cooper. I personally would love to have Jamie Dornan in there, but I don't think so. All right, let's go into personal picks. Wait, what about your 5? What's your 5 again?
my personal picks would be Troy Coster.
Oh, no. Your 5 for who do you think got nominated?
Oh, who will?
Yeah, just let's go over that one more time.
Oh, okay. Cody, Troy, Ciaran Hinds, Mike Feist, and
Bradley Cooper. It's pretty much the same, right?
Yeah.
Ours is the same. You've convinced me to take Jared Leto out.
Let's Suck it, Jared.
You didn't need that much convincing.
No, honestly, who knows? We might all be wrong, and Jared Leto's in there.
God,
swear to God, would you be surprised if he gets nominated?
No, that's the fucked up part.
Yeah. I mean, my personal picks. Number 1, I'm so sad that he's not nominated at all. Actually, Miles, you haven't seen Mask yet, right?
No, I have not.
You and I will watch Mask soon.
I know I've been really slacking on watching movies lately.
That's fine. Miles, you're a sound mixer and production designer. You know what I mean? You do well in those categories. You know what I mean? A+. Yeah. You and I, we'll sleep. We'll get a we'll go to rent a hotel room together as before.
What the fuck is that? You just took it from being like, okay, this sounds like a fun night to being
I'm
very
creepy. Us chilling.
Are you gonna order some Spanish Fly too?
No, I am not implying any sexual innuendos or anything like that.
You're not gonna Bill Cosby me, right?
No. Okay. Just us to chill. You know what I mean? Drink and stuff like that. What's it called? All right. Okay. My personal picks. Number 1, I'm very sad. I don't know what happened. It was a big favorite after Sundance, but Jason Isaacs for Mass is my favorite of the year. I actually think he should win. Actually, in my personal opinion, he's my favorite of the year.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Cody Smith McPhee. 3 is Troy. Number 4 is Reed Birney from Mass, also fantastic. Number 5 is Jamie Dornan. I actually think he's really good in that film. Mike Feist and David Alvarez from West Side Story. Andrew Garfield from Eyes of Tammy Faye, who's actually really good. Robin De Jesus from Tick Tick Boom and Alex Wolff from Pig. That's a lot, I know.
Yeah, that was like 10, 5.
I know. I kind of just went on because I wanted to give those people some love.
Yeah, for sure. For me, my number 1 is it's hard to say for personal picks. I think it's Troy Coster, or Cody Smith McPhee. Either one of those. I really think they knocked it out.
Yeah,
and then probably Jason Isaac for Mass, again, fantastic performance. And then for number 4, it'd probably be, I don't know, somewhere between Mike Feist, and the number 5, the guy from Drive My Car. I forgot his name.
Oh, he's really good too.
The
I didn't put him on
supporting
there.
actor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my bad. I should have
forgot
put
his
him on
name.
there.
Sorry,
Tazuki.
but
Yeah.
uh,
It's just like, I'm sorry, because most likely you're not going to win. You're not going to get
no,
nominated.
he's not going to get nominated.
But he were really good.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Every second he's on screen, my eyes are on him. I'm like looking at what he's doing. You're trying to figure out what he's thinking, what's his motivation. He's creepy, but at the same time, like, nice. I don't know. It's a great performance all around.
We'll get your name right when we do a Drive My Car episode.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Forgot to write your name down.
What about Reed Birney from Mass? Would you put him there? In your top 10?
Yeah, like top 10 for sure. Other actors I would want to throw in is like I think
Alice Wolf
who am I
for Pig.
missing? Oh yeah, Alex Wolff for Pig. Yeah, he does a great job. I always like Alex Wolff. He's fantastic. He's due as well. But yeah, all right. Let's go with Best Supporting Actress.
Yes. Best Supporting Actress. Okay. This one is also very difficult. Less difficult than Best Supporting Actor, but I think these are the safe picks. I'll just say out my 5 because I think these are most like we might have a little different because I know we talked over the phone yesterday.
Yeah.
But the 5 I think they're going to get in for nominating is Ariana DeBose, Kirsten Dunst, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story.
America.
She's the favorite to win, and she will probably win. She's the only one with who got all 4 precursors.
Good job,
Yeah.
Ariana.
Kirsten Dunst for Power of the Dog, because once again, Power of the Dog fame, and she's paid her dues, and she might even win. Actually, yeah, she might. Number 3, Catriona Balfe for Belfast. She's also the other actress to get all 4 precursors because Kirsten just got snubbed at BAFTA, so that hurts her a little bit. Number 4 is Anjuna Ellis. She got snapped at SAG, but she got all the other precursors like Critics' Choice, BAFTA, and Golden Globes. And I think she got snubbed because she's not as well known as the other actresses, even though Ariana DeBose isn't either. But yeah, I think that's what's most likely happened. And instead, ironically, Kate Blanchett for Nightmare Alley took her spot instead. Number 5 is Ruth Negga for Passing. I was so close to putting Ann Dowd as my number 5, but because she got the big boost from BAFTA, but Ruth Negga got SAG, BAFTA, and Golden Globes, so I think she takes that 5th spot.
For me, I think Kirsten Dunst is the number 1. I know Ariana DeBose. She's a big leader. I think she did a great job for the most part. I was not a fan of her accent. I grew up
But
around.
don't you remember? It's like, you better fix your accent.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know, but that
And
doesn't.
the theatricality.
she
and
can
I think her
have-
accent is more subtle than Rita Moreno's in West Side Story.
I will say, look,
In the original.
I'm Latino American, okay? I have an ear for this stuff, okay? And her accent sounds so exaggerated, and it doesn't sound authentic. And that's in the other actors in the same film who are also performing in the same way. They also have like Latin American accents, and I don't think she holds a candle to them just in terms of accents. But I think she's a fantastic singer. I think she did a great performance. I feel like she steals the show really in a lot of ways. So I think she's great. So I think she's definitely going to probably win. I just did not like the accent.
I disagree with you because I think her accent's supposed to be super like hyper reality type of thing.
Huh,
And, you know,
okay.
like I said,
Yeah, no, all right, whatever.
no, I mean because that
Yeah.
character is like super over the top. Yeah,
Uh-huh, sure.
yeah.
She could have all those same characteristics, just have a more authentic accent. That's all I'm saying. And then I think Catriona Balfe for Belfast. I think that's going to slip in there because I feel like the Academy seems to really like that film, or the other awards seem to really like it. It's a little slipper in. I don't know if necessarily she should be there, but that's another. Anjuna Ellis, I'm not sure if she'll get in.
You really don't think so?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think she does enough in that film that really captures your enough attention as a supporting actress like should. I know she has like that one solid scene, which is a great scene, but I don't know. I think Ruth Negga is
But
definitely
what
gonna get
about
in there.
based on the precursors and the nominations?
No, I know. I see that too, but I feel like Ann Dowd is going to be the one that slips in and takes her place, honestly, at number 5, and I think Ruth Negga is going to go up for Passing. But yeah, so
so your 5 is Ariana, Kirsten, or no, it was
Kirsten, Ariana,
Catriona,
Catriona,
Ruth
Ruth Negga, and then Ann Dowd.
And Dowd.
Yeah.
That's a good 5 for me.
Yeah.
Ann Dowd and Marlee Matlin are my dark horses. They
Yeah.
might come in and sneak because based on Coda alone, Marlee Matlin might come in, and also Marley Matlin is the only deaf actress to ever win an Academy Award, so that helps her a lot.
And she was great in the film too. She was fantastic. She does a great job really supporting the film and the rest of the cast. She's great. I love Marley Matlin. I've always liked her and stuff. So I would love to see her get a nomination, but I don't know if she will.
I don't think so. I think this is a category is too tough this year.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
My personal picks, what's it called? For me, number 1 is Anne Dowd. Number 2 is Martha Plimpton, both from Mass. They were fantastic. They were the best performances this year, period.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Ariana DeVos, your favorite part of West Side Story. And number 4, you're going to like that I put this there, Catherine Hunter for The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Oh.
Yeah. Which they said that she, I mean, honestly, if the film was watched more, I think she should have got nominated. Number 5 is Ruth Negga. And number 6 is Kirsten Dunst. And 7, 8, and 9 are Gabby Hoffman for Come On, Katrina Ball for Belfast. And number 9 is Andrea Nellis for King Richard. My personal picks for not,
Yeah. For me, number 1, I'd probably put, again, very similar, Anne Dowd. And number 2 is, I'm sorry, what was her name?
Martha Plimpton.
Martha Plimpton. I think they were just fantastic in that movie. There's so much going on. They are giving it, you know.
We should make our half a clue award ceremony and beat the Oscars.
Yeah, exactly. Take that, Academy. And then for like number 3, probably Kirsten Dunst for Power of the Dog. I think she does a lot. Then maybe like Ruth Negga. And am I missing one? Yeah, I don't know. And then probably Ariana DeBose. Yeah, that's number 5.
She's number 5. Wow.
Yeah.
So the favorite to win is your number 5.
Yes.
Oh, that's fine. That's your personal pick.
Yeah, it's my
your personal pick.
Yeah.
I mean, the accent must have really bothered you.
It did.
Okay. We are going to best. We're winding it down now. We're getting to our last 3 categories. Best actor. I think it's really a 3-person race between Will Smith for King Richard, Benedict Cumberbatch for The Power of the Dog, and Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom. And for number 4 and 5, it's a little tricky, but I give number 4 to Denzel Washington. Like I said, 2-time Academy Award winner and multi-Academy Award nominee. I don't count his BAFTA snub as hurts his chances at all, because the BAFTAs hate Denzel and never ever nominated him for anything.
Bullshit.
Which is crazy. Not even for Malcolm X.
Yeah.
And number 5, I would put Javier Bardem just because he got the SAG nomination and he got the Golden Globes. I don't think he was that good. I personally wouldn't. But my dark horses are like Peter Dinklage. I think is out of the race because Cyrano is sight unseen. Like,
yeah,
they should have released that like in January. Like, January is super dry. They should have released it in January.
Yeah, I'd have watched it.
Yeah. And dark horses. Yeah, is Leonardo DiCaprio for Don't Look Up because he got a BAFTA and Golden Globe nomination. I don't think he deserves it, but based on stats,
absolutely not.
Nicolas Cage, he has a lot of hype actually for Critics' Choice, so he might be that fifth slot and replace Javier Bardem. I hope so. I'll be pumping my fist. I know Miles is gonna be like taking his shirt off and be like, yeah,
yeah. That's one of my favorite movies this year.
Yeah,
and his performance was amazing. So
he was
so great.
If he gets it, he deserved it.
Oh yeah. My personal picks, I didn't put him in there, but I'm gonna make that amendment. I know he's what's it called? But this might be a surprise. He's my other dark horse that I think might get in. Hidetoshi Nishijima, who plays Kafuka in Drive My Car.
Yeah.
He mainly because I think he did a great performance, but I think if Drive My Car gets that last minute push and it's somehow like just really well loved, like kind of what happened with Roma. Roma got a lot, like Roma's been constantly pushing and was able to get 2 of his actors in separate actresses in acting categories and they were like complete wild picks. It might happen with him. We shall see. I don't know if that's the case, but I think he might sneak in. But my 5 are Will Smith, Benedict, Andrew, Denzel, and Javier. Will Smith and Benedict being the top 2 because they're the only ones to get all the 4 precursors for Screen Actors Guild, Critics' Choice, BAFTAs, and Golden Globes. What about you?
For me, I think Benedict Cumberbatch I think he is a good shot. In a close second is, I want to say, Andrew Garfield.
Really? Over Will Smith?
Yeah.
Andrew got snubbed at BAFTAs, though.
I know, but
That's a big one, and he's British.
That's true.
That hurts him quite a bit. He was my number 2, but that hurt him quite a bit, I think.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't know. I think so Benedict Cumberbatch, I think he's number 1. I feel like he's most likely going to win. I know he's been nominated before, but he hasn't won before, right?
No, I think this is his second nomination.
Yeah, I want to say he was nominated for Imitation Game.
Yeah, that's his other one.
Yeah, so in Will Smith, again, I know he's gotten a lot of stuff. He's gotten a lot of praise, and I think he did a pretty good job, but I don't know, man.
It's just not your personal favorite, right?
It's not just that he's my personal favorite. I just feel like Andrew Garfield offers so much to that role in terms of like the singing and dramatic performances and everything else that like really goes into it. It's fantastic. So I don't know. I feel like Garfield still has a good shot at it, but honestly, I think it probably comes down to Cumberbatch and Will Smith. The Garfield being like a very close third place. Then
he might win. Who knows?
I think Denzel Washington's gonna get like probably that 4 slot because again the Academy loves Denzel, at least nominating him. And then man, it's like I really wouldn't want Javier Bardem to be nominated for being the Ricardos. I just don't think he was the right choice for that film. I think he did the best he could with it, and it's nothing on him personally or his performance, but I just don't think he was the right choice. I wouldn't be that shocked, like you said before, if Nicolas Cage was able to sneak in there for Pig.
So is your number 5? Are you going to commit to
Yeah,
Nicolas Cage?
I'm going to say Nicolas Cage is Pig. I think that'll probably be like the one nomination that film will get. And I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
He absolutely deserves it. Yeah, so I'll put his number 5.
Miles, are you rooting for Nicolas Cage to get nominated?
I'm rooting for him to get nominated, but I'm rooting for Andrew Garfield to win.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about personal picks? Go down your list. It could be more than 5 if you could think of others.
Yeah. Personally, yeah, I think I want to say Andrew Garfield number 1, Benedict Cumberbatch at number 2, Nicolas Cage is number 3, Denzel Washington for Tragedy of Macbeth, then probably the actor who was in Drive My Car. What's his name?
Hidetoshi Nishijima. Yeah.
Him. I think he's like number 6. Then probably Will Smith. I know I was a little rough on him, but like I think he still did a good job. Yeah. And then probably, I don't know, Bradley Cooper. You get him in there.
Yeah. What about Justin Chan for Blue Bayou?
No.
No, that's right. A little too over the top.
Yeah, it's honestly, I think he does a pretty damn solid job. But I don't know if I would say Oscar worthy.
No. All right. For me, my number
Sorry,
one,
Justin.
my number 1 is Benedict Cumberbatch for Power of the Dog. I think out of all, it's really hard. It's either him or Andrew, but Andrew I think is more impressive. But Benedict I think had a harder job because he had to make one of the most despicable ranch hands sympathetic, and he does play that toe line pretty well. And Benedict Cumberbatch, insane screen presence.
Yeah.
He walks in the background. You're like, oh, that's Benedict. You know,
Yeah.
He's kind of like how, spoiler alert for Book of Boba Fett, but when you see Cad Bane, you're like, oh, that's Cad Bane.
Hell yeah.
What's it called? Yeah.
Dude, I jumped out of my chair pretty much when Cad Bane showed up.
Oh, I know.
Sorry.
You were like, I remember watching. We were watching it live, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, fuck you, Dave Filoni, you son of a bitch.
I was like, what? I knew. Oh man, I was hyped. Sorry. Anyway, don't worry. Boba Fett's never.
As you can tell, I got the most passion for video for Book of Boba Fett. But Andrew is my number 2. I do love his performance. And the reason why I want him to win, but I don't think he is, because I think Tick Tick Boom is not such a strong awards contender. But my number 3 is Denzel Washington for personal pick. Number 4 is Amir Shadidi for I'm sorry if I say it wrong, for A Hero. I love the guy. Number 5 is Will Smith, even though I don't love the film, but it's hard for me to see another person play Richard Williams other than Will Smith.
Yeah, no, I think he was perfectly casted.
Yeah.
Give him that.
Number 6 is Hidetoshi Nishijima for Drive My Car. I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
And I'm number 7. I put Oscar Isaac, but you know what? I gotta put Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage for Pig. He was fantastic. Number 8 is Oscar Isaac for The Card Counter. Number 9 is Joaquin Phoenix for Come On, Come On. And I'm sorry, Justin Chong. I took you off my list.
Are you gonna list off every single actor that had a role this year?
No, that's what I took off. That's what I took off. These are my thing. Like, I gotta give them love. Like Joaquin Phoenix got fucked. What's it called? Okay, let's go
he
to.
really just has not been on anything, or at least sorry, come on, has really just dropped off.
It was very disappointing because that was a very well done film, and I'm surprised that it has basically gotten snubbed everywhere.
Yeah, who knows? It might even get best original, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. What's it called? Okay, let's talk about best actress contenders. Now, this is even wilder. This is even wilder than fucking best supporting actor. Because wow, I've never seen. Okay, brief context: Kristen Stewart, Spencer came out. She was a front runner to win. Bookie's favorite. She's like, there's no chance that anybody's gonna get anywhere close to Kirsten Stewart or Kristen Stewart. I mean, Nicole Kidman. Who? Fuck, she doesn't look like Lucille Ball. But my gosh, after she got snubbed for SAG, everything went downhill for her. And I've never seen a bigger collapse from frontrunner to not even going to get nominated ever.
Wild.
It's to the point where Kristen Stewart's not even like, she's number 8 on my prediction list, which is sad.
That's crazy.
Because like she has less nominations than Alana Haim for Licorice Pizza. That's wild.
Yeah,
that's really disappointing because
she's my personal favorite.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but that's wild. That's just sad. That's crazy. I don't know if it's like, okay, let's talk about it. That's like a big thing. What do you think happened? Do you think that's just like one? Do you guys think that Spencer just didn't resonate with voters? And 2, do you guys think it's sight unseen? They haven't just seen it. Or number 3, or maybe all of the above. But 3, do you think it's her Twilight fame is really hurting her?
I think it's sight unseen plus Twilight fame. I think that they see her name, they're like, oh, it's just that Twilight girl. And if they haven't seen it, then they just assume, oh yeah, it's nothing, and don't even give it consideration.
I think a lot of people have seen it. Maybe it just hasn't resonated with people because it is a little bit more surreal.
Yeah,
it's a little off kilter kind of film. So
and it doesn't help that The Crown just recently covered Princess Diana, and they did a more like to the facts.
Yeah, very realistic version of it.
Yeah, and that was very critically acclaimed, so it might have hurt, I think, this film.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, it's really hard to say. I don't know. It's hard to explain, really. But I think she will get nominated, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would be shocked if she didn't even get a nomination. Yeah. I don't know how she'll win, but I think she'll definitely get nominated.
I'm not gonna get shocked if she doesn't get nominated. She's basically like, BAFTAs were her last chance. And BAFTAs, to be fair, I've heard that the royal family actually now has a stake in the game, the BAFTAs. That may be one of the reasons why. Yeah. But still, BAFTA was her last do or die moment.
I was gonna say
she got snubbed.
I'm not surprised she didn't get nominated for BAFTA because she's an American actress playing one of the most famous British people ever. So but
then that film has been well received in the UK.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like British critics can be
harsh,
extremely harsh, and critical of someone trying to portray somebody just in terms of like the accent. Although I think she did a pretty decent accent.
That does hurt.
Again, I'm not British,
but that does hurt her. But that does hurt her though.
Yeah,
because if she doesn't get nominated BAFTAs, and those voters are on the Oscar voting population.
Interesting. I think at least American film goers and like audiences and critics, they seem to really liked her.
But none of them are voters.
None of them? What do you mean none of them?
Yeah, the critics aren't voters on Oscars.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, sorry. But so either way, I think that she's been getting enough praise from people, and I think enough people that matter, I'll say, for the Academy.
Okay. All right, let's go into our best actress contenders. This is sad. This is my number 1. I actually don't like this performance at all. I don't even have it in my top 10 of the year. Nicole Kidman being the Ricardos, because she got everything except BAFTAs. And she even won the Golden Globes for Best Actress.
Interesting.
Sad. I'm sad, but whatever. But I gotta face the reality. She's the favorite.
I think she did a pretty decent job. I'll say that much, but definitely not
Oscar worthy.
Yeah, Oscar worthy. Or
does it make you sad that she's this?
Yeah,
polling this
it does. Yeah, it's like I think she did. Hey, thumbs up. That was a solid job, but it's like she just did not sell herself enough as Lucille Ball. Like I just didn't believe it as much. It's a lot like Javier Bardem.
Who I think did a really good job though was Penelope Cruz, who was Javier Bardem's
husband.
Yeah.
I mean, wife.
Alternate reality. I mean, she doesn't look anything like Lucille Ball.
Who? Penelope Cruz?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Lucille
she's
Ball.
yeah. No, you know what? She's strikingly similar features. No, I'm just kidding.
No, Deborah Messing should have played Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
She's-
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she would have been perfect, man.
But no, we have to get the bigger actress. Aaron Sorkin's like, blah, 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 blah.
Nicole Kidman.
And you know what? I get it on a business wise.
Yeah.
Like, let's just look at the facts. All this Oscar buzz. And also, it's like one of the most viewed original films on Amazon Prime.
Kind of crazy, honestly. I mean, I guess people do love I Love Lucy, but I'm surprised that so many people still have such a fondness for it. Because I remember growing up watching I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was like,
it's like people, it's like this, it's like even if you don't watch I Love Lucy,
yeah.
it's like you're aware of it and you're just curious. To
Yeah,
see.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and okay, let's be fair. She's playing Lucille Ball, who is one of the most groundbreaking actresses in Hollywood. She paved the road for so many women in Hollywood. She was a powerhouse back in the day. So I understand why she's like a top contender, because she did an admirable job as Lucille. I didn't think that she really captured her that much, but I understand why people like her so much. And she's a likable character. I mean, well, she's a very complicated character, but it's a lot going for her. So I understand why she's a big contender. Hollywood loves film about Hollywood.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Does she deserve it?
No. And also the idea that big stars are headlining a film, and people like Red Notice, like that film sucked shit. But it's one of the most viewed films ever.
Yeah.
Because of
I've met a lot of people who say that it was an awesome film, and that you're wrong, Philip. So.
Which one? Red Notice? Or?
Yeah, Red Notice.
You mean your friends who have dipshit taste? That was a call.
Okay, well,
All
let's
right,
go through who we think.
All right,
will
number
actually,
2
yeah.
it's Lady Gaga, because she's top 2 contender. I didn't think so. I bumped her up from number 4 to number 2 because she is the only fucking actress to get all 4 precursors: SAG, BAFTA, Critics' Choice, Golden Globe. Holy crap. What the fuck?
Kind of crazy. I think she did a great job. She was like my favorite part of that movie. So
I think
it's deserved, but I am surprised that she's like getting so much, though, honestly. But,
I think she is the best part of the film.
Yeah.
And she what's it called? And we talked about this on the most separately.
Yeah.
But I think
you don't like her accent.
Oh no, I mean literally, like her this one is like she's supposed to be, I'll give her this. I think her actual like performing like the emotional aspects and facial expressions and how she conveys the attributes of this character.
Yeah, for
she
me,
does that fantastic.
Yeah, for me, she loses herself in the role. I was no longer seeing Lady Gaga. I was concerned. Yeah, to be fair, I never saw what was it, A Star Is Born, but I have seen her act in like American Horror Story, and I wasn't really blown away by her then. I think she did a good job, but nothing like really crazy. But in this film, I was like, we'll see how she is. But she brings a lot of depth to the character that I was surprised, like very pleasantly surprised, and yeah, I think she did a great job. I don't think she'll win.
No. If she wins, it'd be travesty. I actually like her performance way more in Star Is Born. Like she really lost herself there.
Yeah.
And here, like I said, I think her accent needed a lot more work. It sounded more Eastern European. It's not just me. Like literally, her own accent coach was like, "It's more Eastern European."
Yeah,
but she got the job done. What amazing praise. Though I did like her a lot. No, she's really good. It's really good. It's just like that is holding up. And also, I think that should have went to like not Italian American, but Italian actress.
Yeah, probably.
But the whole film is it's a misguided approach.
Yeah.
But not to blame Lady Gaga. All right, my number 3 is Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter. She got SAG, she got Critics' Choice and Golden Globes. She got snubbed at BAFTA, so that's why I moved her down from number 2 to number 3.
She's British.
Yeah, I know. She should have got nominated.
Yeah.
She won previously too at
Weird.
BAFTAs, but I don't know what happened in this one. Maybe they didn't connect with The Lost Daughter. They were like, there are too many Italians in the film or something like that. I'm trying to think like what's the reason why.
I don't know.
Whatever. Number 4
Wait,
is
is there too many Italians in the film in Lost Daughter?
I'm just guessing. Like
They're
I'm trying to
in
think
Greece.
of what's there. No, I'm trying to guess like no Greeks, right? My
They're
bad.
Greek.
I'm trying to guess. Oh no, I know it's true. Right? I mean that's stupid on my part. But I'm just trying to guess like what. No, I'm trying to think like in
I don't know.
BAFTA stupid mentality. Like
Who
there's
knows?
too much, not enough British people in the film. What is Ed Harris doing there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ed Harris, man, I love Ed Harris.
He was good though. He was
Yeah,
good.
I
It's
love
not
him.
me. I'm just like
Yeah, I know.
imitating
I'm
stupid.
just saying, like, just giving some praise to Ed Harris. I always like him in everything. I was like, oh hey, I know Ed Harris was in this movie, and I enjoyed him.
My number 4 is Jessica Chastain. Powerhouse performance. The only thing hurting her in this is the fact that Tammy Faye was not very well received, and it's not a Best Picture contender. But
No.
she is carrying the film like Andrew Garfield's carrying Tick Tick Boom, but Tick Tick Boom is a better film. But Jessica Chastain is like putting the entire film on her back and singing Hallelujah throughout the film.
And again, she seems like someone who, like, speaking of losing yourself in a role, like I didn't even recognize her, like physically, but also like just in her performance. Again, Jessica Chastain is someone I've always championed. I've always
Ronald,
really
you
liked
didn't
her.
know it was me? I'm Tammy Faye.
But no, yeah, she does a fantastic job in that film. I did not see Jessica at all. I saw Tammy Faye. That's great.
And and she got nominated for SAG, so that's really helps boost her. And this is number 5. Okay, let's first go through your 1 through 4 before we go to our 5, because I think that's the big.
Okay.
We might differ on that. What was your 1 through 4? Is it pretty much the same?
For someone who's gonna get a Best Actress win? I don't know. It's really hard to say. Like, I don't want to say it's Nicole Kidman, but like, again, on a personal level, it's holding me back. Like, I don't want to say that she's gonna get it, but I feel like she probably will. And I think Olivia Colman is a very close second, and then probably Jessica Chastain, and then Lady Gaga.
Oh, you put Lady Gaga 4, even though
Yeah.
she got all the 4 precursors.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't know. I don't think she'll win.
Okay.
And I feel like her performance.
But what about for nominations? She's a lot.
for nominations? I think she will get.
She's a lot.
nominated. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I think Kristen Stewart. I know you bumped her off, and you think that
So
like
she's your number 5.
yeah,
Kristen
I think
Stewart.
she's number 5. It's shocking because I think that she probably should be up there with like 2
should
or
win.
3. Yeah, like honestly, yeah, I would definitely prefer Kristen Stewart to win over Nicole Kidman, but we'll get to that in my personal picks. But,
If she gets nominated, I will say then her chances of winning have increased dramatically.
yeah,
But, I mean, of course, because she's not nominated, she's not gonna fucking win.
yeah.
But
Imagine she's not nominated and she wins. That'd be crazy.
what's it called? I'll say it because I mean she's overcoming a lot of hurdles. Kristen Stewart, unfortunately, is my number 8. She's actually behind Alana Haim and Rachel Ziegler.
Who?
Rachel Ziegler for
Alana Haim. Oh, you know what? Actually, sorry, I take that back. I think
number 5. You take out Kristen Stewart and put Alana Haim.
no. Oh man.
Who you-
Oh fuck. It's really hard because I do think Alana Haim does have a pretty good chance.
She
of
got
getting
nominated for BAFTA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she has again. Like I think she steals the show for me in that film too.
Yeah.
Like I think
And
she does
Licorice
a
Pizza
great
is
job.
building up momentum.
Yeah, so I feel like she could probably sneak in there. It's a very soft 5 and 6. Like I feel like that could really go either way, which is pretty crazy because again, Kristen Stewart was such a big front runner. But if she's gonna get snubbed for anybody, I think it's probably Alana Haim.
So you got to commit. You're number 5.
Yeah.
Alana Haim. Or
I'm
Kristen Stewart?
gonna say it's Kristen Stewart, but I think again, if anyone is gonna take that spot, I think probably Alana Haim.
All right, for my number 5, is one of the things that I think they're not going to do again. And let's be honest, because politics does play into this.
Yeah,
And also, so they're going to be like another category with all white women instead.
yeah,
They already got some shit last year
yeah.
because Viola Davis was the favorite to win.
Oh yeah,
But then Frances McDormand won on her 3rd Oscar win.
yeah.
Yeah, which is only fair. She was great in Nomadland, very well deserved. And I don't know if they want to repeat that and have no nominations going to a colored actress. And even though Penelope Cruz, she's technically white, light skinned, but at least she's not cocky.
She's
Okay.
she's Spanish. It's a gray area.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
My number 5 is Penelope Cruz, Propel and Mothers, because 1, that's getting a last minute push. 2, Penelope Cruz won for Vicky Cristina Barcelona. I think she is the only only actress from Spain to win an Oscar.
Really?
Like, ever. Yeah.
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 I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
That makes sense. Unfortunately.
And then and she was great at Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
Yeah.
So, and Pedro Moldovar is very beloved at the Oscars, and he repeated this where nobody thought Antonio Banderas was going to get nominated. It was the year of Parasite
Yeah.
for Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory. That's a whole weird film by itself, but that film got in Antonio Banderas Best Actor as the 5th slot, and I think he might do it again this year with Penelope Cruz. So that's my number 5.
I would love to see her get nominated for sure. But
Yeah.
I don't know if she will or will not.
My number 6, I would put Alana Haim. As she's like Alana Haim, Rachel Ziegler, and Kristen Stewart are my 3 dark horses. But in that order, because Alana Haim got nominated for BAFTA, Critics Choice, and Golden Globes, and Rachel Ziegler, I put her there above Kristen Stewart because she won the Golden Globes for Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy. And when you do that, it's your stats increase like tenfold. Right? It's very rare not very rare, but it's more often than not, if you win that category, you'll most likely get nominated. Yeah, and that film is well beloved and stuff like that. And West Side Story is the Best Picture contender. Kristen Stewart has all these things going against her. She didn't win the Golden Globes. She lost to Nicole Kidman. She got snubbed at SAG, which is huge. By the way, I think she could get nominated, but never. I don't think ever in history, someone who's not been nominated for SAG for Best Actress has won Best Actress at Oscars.
Interesting.
So she has to go against 94 years of history.
I don't know, man. Maybe she'll do it. Probably
possibly.
not. But maybe.
Spencer is also, sight unseen or basically just not beloved by voters at all this entire season.
Weird.
And I thought she was because Jackie for Natalie Portman was picking up a lot of steam.
Yeah, Jackie felt like he got nominated all over the place.
Yeah, and this one just same director.
Yeah,
and whatever. And she got snubbed at BAFTAs, which was like her do or die. So it's sad, but she's my number 8. I very little chance I think of her getting nominated. If she gets nominated, I'll be like fuck yes.
Okay.
But we'll see. All right, personal picks.
For me, number 1, it's a tough one between Olivia Colman and Penelope Cruz. 2 films about mothers and the hardships and it's just how hard it is. But I think again very different. But I would put Olivia Colman, then Penelope Cruz, then probably Kristen Stewart, and then I don't know who am I missing here. Sorry.
Do you want to put Jodie Comer for The Last Duel?
Oh yeah, dude! Holy shit! Oh my god, I forgot. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Everybody forgot.
Yeah, I know. That's so terrible. Fuck. I love that movie too.
By the way, I was gonna put The Last Duel as.
How did that not get how's that getting snubbed so much? I understand,
especially for Best Adapted Screenplay. I was gonna put that there, but it's it's not recognized anywhere.
Ugh, that's terrible. But yeah, no, sorry. Yes, her for Last Duel. She does a killer performance in that film. For her, and then who did I say? Sorry, I said Olivia Colman, Penelope Cruz, Kristen Stewart, her from what was
Jodie Comer from The Last Duel.
Jodie Comer from Last Duel, and then
Alana Haim or Amelia Jones for Coda. Who do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. It's so tough, but I think I'm gonna say. Did I say? Sorry, did I say Alana Haim? No, I did not.
No, you didn't. No.
Yeah, I'll put Alana Haim. Yeah,
nice.
Number 5. Yeah.
My 5 it's pretty similar: Kristen Stewart, Olivia Colman, Jessica Chastain, Penelope Cruz, and my number 5 slot. Oh, it's sad. I ended up giving to Amelia Jones because sign language and singing and all that shit.
Yeah. Number 6, I'll put Lady Gaga.
No, what?
Yeah.
What over Amelia Jones for Coda?
Okay, no, sorry. Amelia Jones and then Lady Gaga.
Okay, I was like, whoa.
Apologies.
Whoa. And my number 6 is Jodie, number 7, Alana, and Frances McDormand's number 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say Frances McDormand should slip in there too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of solid actresses this year. It's just a lot of understated and for some reason underpraised.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alicia Vikander for Blue Bayou was also really good. Yeah.
Yeah, she was good. I didn't love her.
Yeah, but I think
she does a very solid job. But
this is a tentative. It might be my personal. She's also a dark horse too, but we'll see. She might be a surprise pick. But I have to see this film again for me to put her higher, but Renate Rines. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. For worst person in the world. Let's go. One day we'll all watch that together, and then let's go. Well, somebody just hit our studio, and we're currently surviving. What's it called? And that's it. All right, now we will get to best director and best picture. Our last two. Best director, I think it's.
Dun, 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 dun.
I think it's pretty safe, except maybe a couple of things. But for me, my 5 are Jane Campion, Power of the Dog, Denis Villeneuve for Dune, Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, Steven Spielberg for West Side Story, and Ryusuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car. I knocked off Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, even though he got a DGA nominations, mainly because I think Ryusuke Hamaguchi is going to be that surprise spot. But we never know.
He didn't get a BAFTA thing, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He's British.
And they love... Yeah, I know. We're going to say that.
It's a British film.
It's a super... What's it called?
Northern Ireland is part of Britain.
Yeah, that's true. Right, yeah. So, but then, but he is like super recognizable in Britain.
Yeah.
And they loved him, and they nominated him so many times. So I was like, I think that hurts him quite a bit.
Yeah.
But Jane Campion and being the clear front runner, because she's the only one to get all the precursors, and she'll probably win. Yeah. But what about you? What's your 5?
I think Jane Campion, for sure. I think I'd be very surprised if she did not win. But if she was going to lose, I think Spielberg could probably sneak in there, and then probably Denis, then Paul Thomas Anderson, and then Ryusuke Hamaguchi.
Wait.
Sorry, it's number 5.
Wait, no. Hamaguchi.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. No, I think it's to get that foreign that foreign language director.
They always do that, like random.
Yeah, they sneak someone in there. I think he definitely deserves it. Yeah, I think it's a great praise for him. I think he did fantastic. It's a phenomenal film.
Is it crazy they were taking off Kenneth Branagh for Belfast because he was such a huge front runner?
I know he was a big front runner, but yeah, I feel like Belfast has been dying off. Licorice Pizza is getting like more praise right now. The fact that he didn't get BAFTA is a big one. I think Denis is going to get nominated regardless. I think he's just become one of those big powerhouse directors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he didn't get nominated for BAFTA either, but I don't know. I feel like he's.
But then his film got 11 nominations.
Yeah, it's like there's so much praise for Dune. I'd be really shocked if he didn't get at least a nomination for that.
But you know who might be another dark horse?
Oh.
And she got nominated BAFTA, and that helped her a lot of it. And it's Miles' favorite director, Julia Ducournau.
Yeah,
not my favorite director, but very good director.
Yeah.
I think she very much deserves it. But I don't think she'll get nominated.
Think so.
Yeah.
If they're gonna put one foreign, it's gonna be Ryusuke Hamaguchi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's sad. It's weird. I mean, Belfast. He did a really good job. It's one of his best films in years. Belfast.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and I think he does. Yeah, like I said, a very solid job. I mean, all the performances in that film, get elevated by a great actor director, and I think he did a very solid job. But it's not. I don't know. It's tentative
because I think it's like DGAs usually get 4 out of 5, not 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
And I think he is going to be that one from DGA that's like going to get replaced by somebody. Personally,
we'll see.
What about personal picks? I think for me, both of our number one is Denis, right? Denis Villeneuve. Oh,
it's hard.
Okay,
honestly, I think Jane Campion and Denis, it's really tight between them.
I agree because they're very different.
Yeah, it's so different.
Has Power of the Dog kind of grown on you? This thing?
Yeah. I think it. I'm gonna put Denis, and then I'm gonna put Jane Campion, and then probably personal picks, right? So
these are personal picks.
Denis, Jane, then I don't know, and then probably Ryusuke, then Steven Spielberg. Yeah, and then probably Julia. I'm not going to say your last name. I'm sorry. Wow, there's so many hard names in this category.
What's it called? Mine is pretty much the same. Denis, number 1. I mean, it's hard for me to rank the other two. They're so different, the directing styles.
Yeah. I mean, all of these are drastically different from Denis, Jane, Steven, Paul, Julia, like
Ryusuke.
Extremely different. Yeah, like all completely different kind of directors in films.
Mine's the same as yours, just different ordering and stuff like that. I think honestly, maybe tomorrow Jane might be my number 1, but it's really hard. And Steven Spielberg directed the fuck out of that film.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, my favorite Spielberg film in a long time.
Yeah. And Julie Corno, Teton, she had a car sex scene. They made it cinematic. Yeah. And Ryusuke
Not the
Hamaguchi.
kind of car sex scene you're thinking of.
No, they didn't have one car sex scene.
Oh, they had
had
two.
car
Yeah,
sex
yeah.
scenes.
Well, the car.
Yeah.
The first
And
one
a
being
fire
like,
truck.
yeah, fire truck. Yeah. But Ryusuke Hamaguchi, like, dude, like, it's just impressive and ballsy for somebody to have those takes for go on for that long,
Yeah.
but also be engaging, right? At the
Yeah.
same time, and also like the choice to like not use green screen for the driving sequences.
It's
And
great.
It's a long take of just them talking and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
if they fuck it up, they have to go all the way.
Yeah,
back.
we got to reset. You got to drive 6 miles back.
But then brief shout out to Pedro Moldovar, but mainly, okay, you know what? We already talked about all of this, but brief shout out to David Lowery for The Green Knight and Joel Cohen for Tragic Macbeth.
Hell yeah, dude. Joel Cohen, dude. Seriously, like he's so up there, and David Lowery, like they were just right on the edges. But I think they, definitely deserve some praise.
All right, now we get to our final category. We've been all bumping this up for, and honestly, it might be go quicker than I thought because a lot of this is we've talked about this throughout the other categories.
Yeah,
But let's go into our top 10 for best picture contender. I think we both agree. Number 1, Power of the Dog.
yeah,
Yeah, it's probably gonna win too. I think we've heard of betting man.
yeah. It swept a lot. It's so hot right now. It's a big one. I think deservedly so. But I think a sneaky number 2 for me is Coda. I think
You
if
know what?
anything is gonna sneak up and steal it, it'll be Coda.
You know what? I kind of agree. I have it number 8 right now just based on the stats. I agree.
Yeah, we've been these past couple years have been so depressing. These have been tough years, and I think Coda is like it's a lovable film. Like you're heartless if you don't like that movie. Like how do you not feel something watching that film? And I think, I don't know. I think a lot of times, like again, this is the times we're living in. Sometimes you just need that film that it's going to be that feel good film. And King Richard is one of those where it's like, again, it's very similar. It's very inspiring. There's a lot going for it. I just don't think.
But Coda's on steroids.
Yeah, but Coda's got like just turned way up to 11 in terms of like, just a classic feel good film. Does it necessarily deserve it? I don't think so. But
you mean Coda for number 2?
Coda. Yeah.
Oh, you don't think it deserves a number 2?
No, it's a tough one. I think it's great. I honestly loved it. It was one of my favorite movies of the year, but there are some other films I would put ahead of it. So
Right. You know what? You changed my mind. I think I would put Coda as my number 2.
Yeah.
My number 3 is
I'm totally gonna contradict myself in my personal picks, honestly.
my number 3 is Belfast. I think even though it's kind of died steam, it's still sweeping in nominations. Even though Kenneth didn't get, it used to be number 1, but Kenneth didn't get a BAFTA, but the film did get nominated for BAFTA. So I still put it as number 3. It's still tracking hot. Where's Belfast on yours?
Belfast is 4 for me. I think West Side Story is a pretty solid number 3.
That's a good one. That's my number 4.
Yeah, those top 3 for me: Power of the Dog, West Side Story, Coda. I think it could go for any of those. I'd be surprised if it did go for West Side Story, and it broke away from Power of the Dog. But I think West Side Story. It's a big classic Hollywood film. Steven Spielberg is leading it. There's so much going for it on just like a technical level. I'd be surprised if it didn't. But it could be that sneaky one.
And it won the Golden Globes for Best Musical, so it did help. And Power of the Dog won Best Golden Globes for Best Drama. Even the Golden Globes don't really impact it that much, but it helps with visibility.
Yeah.
West Side Story is my number 4. I was flip flopping, but I put it number 4. It's a solid. It's getting nominated. The thing I think that hurts it from winning is the fact that it's a remake. Sadly.
Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure. I know lots of people who've just refused to watch it because it is a remake, and it's one of those remakes that I think more than enough basically earns its right to be there. So I give it a lot of props for being able to tackle such a big classic film and pulling it off so well. But yeah, I'd put Power of the Dog, Coda, West Side Story, and then for number 4, I'm gonna put Dune, because again, it's a big one. It's got a lot. It's got the big populist kind of film.
Oh wait, I thought Belfast was your number 4.
No.
Oh, what's Belfast then?
5.
Oh, 5. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then probably, I don't know. For number 6, I'd probably sneak King Richard in there again because it's got a lot of hype behind it. Will Smith does a pretty solid job. A lot of people really like it. Feel good, like I'm saying. People really want to feel good in times like these. So I'll put King Richard, and then probably Licorice Pizza.
My Licorice Pizza is my number 6. My number 5 is Dune because there's a lot of love for that.
Yeah.
I didn't put PGAs in our notes, but Licorice Pizza also got nominated for PGAs, which is a big one. PGAs does influence quite a bit because there's a lot of producers voting on the Oscar ballot. So PGAs, by the way, are Producer Guild Awards. By the way, if brief rundown, BAFTAs are British Academy Film Awards, and they're the British Oscars, but a lot of those voters are in the Oscars. PGAs are Producers Guilds of America Awards, and a lot of those and this basically run by producers that are also on the Oscar ballots, and that's what all of this is important at.
Yeah. Carries over.
Yeah. My number 6 is Licorice Pizza. I think it's locked to get nominated. It might even jump higher depending on like as the award season goes, but we'll see. Sadly, my number 7. Oh, you're dreading this. You're dreading this hard. But I feel like you and I might have this. But it's just based on the nominations. It got almost all of the precursors.
Terrible.
It's Don't Look Up.
Boo.
Is Don't Look Up your number 7? Or where's Don't Look Up on your top 10?
I put it up number 8.
So you refuse to get any higher than that?
Yes. I honestly, again, I feel like there is that pushback. I think it's gonna get nominated.
I don't think it'll win.
Unfortunately, no, hell no, it's not gonna win.
Oh,
but
if it wins, if it does win, I will never ever talk or cover the Oscars. Miles will be very happy. He was like,
I would be very happy. I kind of want Don't Look Up to win now, just because then we never have to fuck with the Oscars again.
I know, Miles is like dreading ripping his hairs out as he's listening to sound mixing.
No, I do not think Don't Look Up will win. I think it's gonna get nominated again, unfortunately, but it's just like it's so undeserving. It doesn't deserve to be in this freaking conversation right now. Not at all. Like it's part of me just didn't like the film just on its own, and it's making me hate it so much more.
Like 50-ish% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
it's derided.
What the hell? Like why? Why is it getting so much praise?
They love Adam McKay. All of Adam McKay's films that he directed have him nominated for Best Picture.
That's so stupid. I think also, again, just because of cast, there's Meryl Streep, there's Leonardo DiCaprio, there's Jennifer Lawrence, there's
a lot of influence they could pull.
Yeah, Jonah Hill. There's a lot of people there that have been Oscar nominated and winning actors and actresses. So
Jennifer Lawrence, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, so I understand why it's there, in a sense, but in reality,
it shouldn't be.
It should not be. It doesn't belong to be anywhere near this list.
What's it called? It's sad. Okay, so what's your number 7 then?
Tick Tick Boom.
Oh, wait, what's your number 6 and 7? My bad.
6. I don't know. I'm mixed up here. Sorry. Okay.
Let's go down to your list. 1 through.
Power of the Dog, 8. Number 1. Coda, number 2. West Side Story, number 3. Belfast, number 4.
Oh, so you put Belfast back as number 4.
Yeah. Or okay. What I put before? No,
you said 5.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Dune is your number 4.
Yeah, Dune is number 4,
and Belfast is number 5.
Yes.
All right, number 6 is Licorice.
Yeah, number 6 is Licorice Pizza. Number 7, King Richard. Number 8, Don't Look Up. Number 9, Tick Tick Boom. Although I think it should be higher. And then number 10. Did I say Don't Look Up?
You already said Don't Look Up is number 8.
Yeah. Number 10 is Tick Tick Boom.
Wait, save your number 10 because I think we'll both do that.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, my number 1 is Power of the Dog. Number 2 is Coda. Number 3 is and people are surprised. I really think because Coda's gonna be that surprise. Like it's rising as a populist pick. Number 3 is Belfast. Number 4 is West Side Story. Number 5 is Dune. Number 6 is Licorice Pizza. And number 7, I put Don't Look Up over King Richard because I think King Richard got snubbed at the BAFTAs, so it knocked it down a peg.
Yeah.
Not stubbed. It just didn't get nominated for BAFTAs. So number 7 is Don't Look Up. Number 8 is King Richard. Number 9 is Tick Tick Boom, and now number 10. Let's talk about this. A betting man would probably put Being the Ricardos, but I am a ballsy, crazy, weird guy, and I actually think, in all craziness, I think Drive My Car will be that number 10 slot.
You crazy, man.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, well, just looking at is tracking it and everything, it seems like it's again trending upwards. I think Drive My Car will get in there because it is critically beloved. I think it deserves it, and I do think they do want that foreign film in there in one of those slots. And if one's going to be there, it's definitely going to be Drive My Car. So I think
Would you take out Being the Ricardos?
It's
It's hard because they got a
that's-
PGA.
yeah, it's really tough because I think it's got the PGA, and again, Hollywood loves films about Hollywood, so I understand why it would be there, but I think it could get bumped off, and that'll be this, and people will be like, it got snubbed, and it's like, no, it didn't, but whatever.
You know who I think if Being the Ricardo stays and Drive
Yeah.
My Car is in there too, I think what might get bumped off is either Tick Tick Boom or King Richard.
Oof.
It's sad.
I would be surprised if King Richard does get bumped off. I think again,
But I think
we'll
it's
get into
probably Tick
personal
Tick.
picks later, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think if also like I don't know, I feel like Drive My Car could slip in there or Tragedy of Macbeth.
I wish, but I don't think it will because this is like it's disappeared. It hasn't got nominated for any precursor. It didn't get nominated for PGAs, BAFTAs, which is crazy. It's Shakespeare and they get nominated for BAFTAs.
Is this Apple TV was launched this year, right?
No, it was launched
or,
a while ago.
or last year? Really?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh yeah, no, it has been. Yes, I forget.
Yeah.
It's only kind of been relevant.
It's like what's weird. They did really well in the campaign for Coda,
yeah.
but they've kind of fumbled the ball with Tragic Macbeth, and they haven't made it as public or available. Like they should have tried. I think honestly, they should have tried to make this more wide release film,
Yeah.
and they should have got the screeners out sooner to the voters,
Interesting.
and it got fucked. I think.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, want to go with personal picks?
Yeah, let's go personal picks. My number one is Drive My Car. Let's just go top 5 first, and then we can go afterwards.
My number one is Green Knight.
Green Knight's great. I'm not gonna
really
deny
love
that.
that movie.
It
I
might.
think- yeah. Sorry, it's going to show my bias here, but Green Knight. I think Coda, just because it was just such a heartfelt film. I don't know if it necessarily deserves it as much, but I think there's so much going for it that I really enjoyed that movie. 3, Tragedy of Macbeth. 4, Titan. And 5, Dune.
Nice. Honestly, I honestly Dune would technically be my number one, but
Yeah.
I couldn't put it on like pure ethical basis because it's half a film. Yeah,
It is
And
half
that's
a
sad.
film, but I don't know. For me, it's a satisfying ending. I feel like it leads itself so much into what the second one is going to be. So I think it's gotten a little too much.
And I don't even hate it because I think it's the
negativity.
right choice to do
Yeah.
this one too. It's just like
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm waiting for part 2 to come out, and if part 2 is great, then it'll be my top film of like 2023. Or
Yeah, I
something.
think part 2 is going to be a big contender when it does come out as like number 1. I mean, but we'll see what happens, what films will be released that year. But I'd be
Yeah.
surprised if it's not in the talks for like, number 1 or number 2.
Yeah. Drive My Car is my number 1. Number 2 is Power of the Dog. Absolutely love the film. Probably the film I've watched maybe the most this year. And it's not the most action packed or fast paced film ever. Number 3.
No, what? It's like
Number 3 is A Hero. I have mentioned that many times in the film, many times throughout this episode. It's a fantastic film by Ashghar Farhadi. Number 4 is Belle, Miles' favorite animated film this year. Number 5 is Licorice Pizza. I did love. I might be biased because Miles and I we went to the opening screener and we watched it in 70mm film, and
which was just fantastic. But I will say that it did add a lot to the experience of watching that movie, and that might be coloring our opinions. So,
it is.
Yeah.
It is. But I think that is how it's intended to be viewed too.
Mm-hmm.
So, number 6. Okay, and now let's go to 6 or 10. You're 6 or 10.
Power of the Dog is number 6.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Number 7, Drive My Car. Number 8, Parallel Mothers. Number 9, Tick Tick Boom. And number 10, West Side Story.
Nice. My number 6 is Flea. I absolutely love that film. Number 7 is The Green Knight. I there's no way I'm making top 10 without The Green Knight.
Yeah.
It might be my number 1 tomorrow. It flip flops. I love that film. Number 8 is Tragedy of Macbeth. Number 9 is Parallel Mothers. And number 10, I was debating between West Side Story and Titan, and it's really, really hard.
They're very close.
Yeah.
Oh, I had
Oh,
I had them into
yeah.
my top 5.
I put Titan, and it was there. I loved them equally, but I put Titan over because it is more original than West Side Story.
Yeah.
Sadly, yeah. Who knows? My list might change. Worst person in the world. I took it off because I haven't seen it twice. Every one of these films I've seen multiple times.
Yeah. Sorry, mine is number 10, Jeremy. I know you like that movie a
No,
lot.
Jeremy, West Side Story was number 1 for a while, for a bit. But just
Yeah.
like I had to be objective and be like, it's a remake, and like it's sad, but it knocks it off a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So, wait, is Flea on your top 10?
No.
Oh, that's fine.
I very much enjoyed Flea, but there's just a lot of other films I enjoyed more this year. Honestly, like I even want to put Pig is like number 10.
Pig is my number 12. It's really or somewhere there. It's top 20 for sure.
If I was gonna switch out West Side Story, it would probably be either for Pig or I'd probably be Pig.
Oh, did you just take out West Side Story and put Pig?
Yeah, fuck it. Sorry, West Side Story. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
Oh, it's great though.
Pig is number 10.
Yeah. What about you, Miles? You have a top 5.
My top 5 that I really wish would be there. This is not based in reality of what I think will happen at all, because I'm sure it won't. Definitely
picks.
gonna. Yeah, these are personal picks, very personal picks, because they don't have any resemblance to what's actually probably gonna happen. But yeah, number 1, I would probably say Tick Tick Boom. Number 2, Licorice Pizza. Number 3, Pig. Number 4, Last Night in Soho. But that's not going to have anything happen with it. And then number 5, you know what? Let's just throw in the Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh my god!
Because
I was gonna say
it's
you're
getting snubbed like crazy for the Oscars.
I was gonna say, you're not that far off, a lot of these picks, but yeah, that's a wild card.
That's a wild card. Who knows? It might end up. People even say it might get nominated for best visual effects for the Harold Ramis CGI.
You know what? It's
Maybe.
not. And the visual effects are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pretty solid throughout the film. Like I would not be disappointed if it does get at least a nomination.
I would actually put it above Shang-Chi or Spider-Man.
I would, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for this episode. It's our first time doing it. What's it called? It is a lot and intensive. Thank you guys for coming along with this journey. It's been a ride, right? And thank you for the insane growth that we experienced over the months. And we really appreciate everything you guys gave us.
Yeah, no, seriously. If you guys like listening to us, please subscribe. That really means a lot. It's great seeing everyone that... I'm always surprised when people do subscribe. Yeah. I do appreciate it, but we do put a lot of work into this, and yeah, it's a small way to give us that little extra help. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And we will be on audio podcast forums real soon.
Yeah, soon you'll be able to hear us on Spotify or
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, look at that. Growing up in the world.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
Thank you guys. All right. Yeah. Thank you guys for another episode of Have a Cool Movie Review, and see you guys next time.
Let us know what your top picks are.
Yep. Leave them in the comments.
Very curious to hear what you guys have to say.
Okay, bye.